Hey everybody. So on Sunday, I introduced a new, let's call it discipleship strategy, outreach strategy, ministry strategy to the folks at Central called Reach PDX. If you want to know more about Reach PDX, you can go to reachpdx.org. You could also listen to the sermon from Sunday, which is on the Central's YouTube channel. But in a nutshell, what Reach PDX is, it's a strategy built on Luke chapter 10 to reach our city for Christ. You know, we have a city that is so in need of Jesus, as most every city is in our world. And Reach PDX, it takes into consideration the fact that Portland is broken down into roughly 97 different neighborhoods. So if you look at all of Portland, you're like, man, that's a really big city to reach for Christ. But you know what? If we look at it and go one neighborhood at a time, we can do that. We can reach Portland for Jesus one neighborhood at a time. So Reach PDX is this strategy in which we are asking God, trusting God to raise up 100 neighborhood missionaries, 100 people who are passionate about reaching their community for Christ and who are engaged in their neighborhoods. And so the first part of this strategy, and the most important part as far as I'm concerned, is prayer. We've got to pray for our neighborhoods. We have got to pray for our city. And so part of what we're doing to try and build up a culture and an environment of prayer is we're going to start going on prayer walks. We have an entire year. This is the goal. By the end of the year, that we have had at least one prayer walk in every single one of the neighborhoods in Portland. So that's almost 100 prayer walks. So, I mean, you can figure it out. That's about 2 prayer walks a week where we are trying to get out and into the neighborhoods. Now you might be going, so, but what is a prayer walk? I've never gone on a prayer walk. Well, you're not the only one, right? Prayer walking, you won't find in the Bible the phrase prayer walk. You're not going to find it. And I don't want you to think that it's some mystical thing where our prayers are more powerful when we go into a place and pray for that place standing in it. But what a prayer walk is, it's where we're asking God to give us direction, how we can reach that community, to let us, maybe even to give us eyes to see where God is already at work. So these prayer walks that we're doing, it's just as much for us as it is for the community in which we're prayer walking. So it's a time of intercession, absolutely. It's a time of walking down a street and going, man, maybe I need to pray with this person. It's putting ourselves in an option and giving ourselves an opportunity to meet people for divine appointments where God can use us to impact some people around us. So prayer walks can work in all kinds of ways. We have on the reachpdx.org website, we have a prayer walk guide that you are welcome to grab and use and go on prayer walks. We're going to be doing prayer walk. We're going to start this week on Thursday, going on a prayer walk. We're going to meet at the church on Thursday at 12 o'clock. That's noon, not midnight, noon. And we're going to go for a prayer walk in the Powhurst-Gilbert neighborhood. So if you or anyone you know lives in that neighborhood or is going to be available at that time, come meet at the church, and we will simply walk from the church and go on this prayer walk. We are going to be simply asking God to show us where to go and what to do. As you read through Scripture, you see instances where cities were impacted by people praying. People's lives were changed by people praying. So while the word prayer walk is not necessarily in Scripture, the idea most definitely is. I think of Joshua and Caleb and the spies when they entered into the land of Canaan, and how when everybody else came back discouraged and ready to not go to the land because the giants were too big, Joshua and Caleb were saying, no, but God's going with us. We can win that battle. And so I feel like that's this idea of prayer walk. When they entered the land, they walked around the city of Jericho in these giant walls for 7 days, praying and praising. And God used that to bring the walls down. Paul, walking around the city of Athens, was led by God to preach Jesus to that city in the midst of all of their idols. Jesus, everywhere he went, was praying, and everywhere he went was walking. When Jesus was entering into the city of Jerusalem for the last time, he stopped on top of that hill, looked out over the city and wept for it and prayed for that city. So the idea is definitely there. So I want to challenge you to join us in our efforts to reach PDX. Whether you go to Central or not, let's go and start doing some prayer walks. There's a link here where you can go and get more information about that, get that prayer walk guide. And if you can't meet me at Central on Thursday, go on your own prayer walk. Go in the city that you live in. Go in the community that you live in. Find some friends, find some family, and go on your own prayer walk. If you're in the Portland area and you're planning on going on a prayer walk, it would be fantastic if you would let us know. We can create a prayer walk calendar where everybody that wants to participate knows what prayer walks are being scheduled and when, and you might get people at your prayer walk from all over the city. So let's make prayer walks. Let's go and pray for our community. We've got lots of neighborhoods to pray in. We've got lots of neighborhoods to walk through. We've got lots of people to meet, lots of relationships to build, and God is going to do some fantastic things in our city. So hopefully you can join me Thursday, 12 o'clock, to do a prayer walk in Palhurst, Gilbert, or you can let me know when you want to schedule a prayer walk in your city and maybe, or in your community, and maybe we can come join you there. Let's just see what God's going to do. I'm excited for it. Again, reachpdx.org if you want more information, and there's a prayer walk guide there for you. Well, hopefully we'll see you Thursday. If not, God bless you and have a great week.